everybody, it's Nancy Lynn from Awesome K9. Sorry we're running a little late. We had a few technical difficulties getting started, but that's what happens when you do this stuff. So today I want to talk about having some fun with the dog and what kind of games and foraging games you can play, and just give them something different to do. So, and also some of these things are things that you can make at home. These are all DIY toys that you should be able to make with stuff that's around the house. Okay, so there shouldn't be a lot of cost to any of this. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about was, now that it's spring and you're cleaning out your garage, make sure that you don't throw out any old hoses. Right, Ollie? Hoses are great replacements for sticks. Yes. Okay, out. Thank you. Sit. Good. Okay, great replacements for sticks. We can create a toy out of this that we can put, what I've done with one, and you can do anything you want with it, but I used basically, I'm going to put this back here. Ollie, sit. Stay. I used boat rope, put it through the thing, tied some knots in it. Then I put some fabric on the ends. You can braid it, you can do whatever you want. But this becomes a great toy for playing tug and playing release tug. So this is where I'm going to teach him, out. Good. Ready? And he loves this thing. So you can use this anywhere. In the winter times, I used to use this for one of my dogs about 20 years ago because it was hard to find a stick in the middle of winter. So chopped up garden hose is perfect. And you can use it in the water. They can go get it. Go get it, Ollie. Okay, so he's gonna have a great time. Bring it, Ollie. Come. Bring it. Good boy. So I'm gonna play a game of what's called controlled tug with him. So I can go, ready, Ollie? Oh yes, and we're gonna play a little bit. Yes, but then I'm gonna tell him out. Good. Okay, so I'm gonna control the levels of excitement that he has, but I want to make this fun. And he can tug at the ends. He can have fun with this. I can throw it. He can go get it. We can play a little bit of tug. Out. Good boy. Ready? Good job, Ollie. Good get it. There we go. Okay, so this is how we play with homemade toys that cost us nothing. All right. The next thing that I wanted to talk about was plastic bottles do wonderful things. So I've done a whole bunch of different things with bottles. You can take small ones, fill it with a little bit of water up to here, and then put the top on, and I just throw it around the field because it gives it some weight, and the dogs can crinkle it and have fun with it. This one I put holes in it because it's round, so I can put food in it, and I'm going to show you what Cooper does with this. So I'm going to open this up. I'm going to put some food in here. And Cooper's going to come out. Oops. It already fell out. Oops. Okay, so I've got a hole in the bottom, I've got a hole in the top. So, come here, Coop. We'll let Cooper come out. Ready, Coop? Look, you come like this. Cooper, come. Ollie, over here. Come on, Ollie, over here. Good boy. Cooper, you work on that. Ollie, right here. Good boy. Okay, so Cooper's going to roll this around until he figures out that if I roll it around enough, this way, Coop, so you can see what you're doing. Look at that. Okay, so just like having a Kong, if you don't have a Kong that's a wobble Kong, you want the cheap version, this works great. That I let them just kind of roll it around. I put their kibble in it for their food so they can get breakfast out of it, use it for snacks. But basically, what do you think, Coop? Not bad? You ready? Go get it. Go get it, Coop. Good job. Good job. There we go. All right, so that's another one. That's a second one to do. So these are easy to do. The other thing I'll do with this is that I put a hole in the top here. I've cut 2 holes in the bottom, and I can put this on a piece of rope and just tie it out even in the backyard, like low enough that he can just tether it and kind of play around with it till he learns that if he hits it, the stuff falls out. Okay, so that's one thing. All right, ready, Coop? We're going to go back and do this one. Come here, Coop. All right, so next, Cooper, come. So next, this one's a little bit more work to put out, and I'm going to let Missy off. Come here, Coop. Right here. Sit. Down. Sit. Cooper, down. Missy, come. Ready? Hang on just a sec. We're getting everybody Missy set up. All right, Missy, come here. Okay, so this one's a little bit more work to set up, but again, if you've got nothing better to do right now than be at home and play around with your dog, this is one that's fun to make. What I've done is I've taken a dowel, and I've taken 2 bottles. Oh, Cooper, you're back. I'm going to let this go. I'm going to put this, whoops, right here. Ready, Missy? So I've put the bottles on here. I've cut holes in here, and I want them to learn. These guys haven't learned this game yet. I want them to be able to tap it and push it so things fall out. See that? Missy, look. Tap. Now, they haven't done this game yet, so they're just starting to figure it out. Tap. There we go. Ready? You got to make it work. Go. Let's see if they can figure it out to get it moving themselves a little bit. And they'll start slowly. They'll start by just tapping it with their nose and making it move, going, how come it's not falling out? And then as we make it go further, Cooper, look. Ready? Oh, what happened? Look at that. We got pieces falling out. Okay, so this is a little bit more work to make, but it's kind of a fun thing. And I just put it in between 2 chairs. You can put it in the corner of a fence in the backyard so it stays up. You can hold on to it. I use the tennis balls just because it attracts the dogs more, and also these things keep the bottles in place. You gotta spin it, see? What happened? Oops, there we go. Okay, so they'll start to figure out that if they tap it and spin it, because this is the first time these guys have played with one another. So this is a great way to just sort of get them to work and play a little bit. Then the next thing that I wanted to do is, and I'm just going to bring Cooper back over here. Come here, Coop. And Missy's going to play this game. Come here, Missy. Cooper, you guys here. There we go. Missy, come. So the next thing I want to do is I'm going to do the cup game. So the cup game, and I've got some balls, which is fine. But what I'm going to do is take out 3 or 4 cups. I'm going to put some kibble under some of the cups. Not all of them, just some of them. I'm going to start with 1 here. Wait, Missy, back up. Sit. Now, when you're playing these games, don't forget to use your obedience word, okay? I want her to wait. She can't bombard me for the stuff. She's got to be patient. Stay. You wait. Let's do another one here. Stay. Good girl. Do another one there. And we'll do 1 more here. And you can hide different treats, different things under here. Ready? Go get it. Go get it. So she's got to figure out how to get into that cup or to knock them over. Find it. Find it. Good girl. Got it? Oh, look at that. She got her nose and everything. Missy, next one. Find it. Hey, good girl. Now find it. Find it. Okay, so again, these are just games to get them working, make them work for the food a little bit, just have a little bit of fun, make them do stuff to get to it. I'll even do things with a tennis ball, put it in like a little cup or a muffin tin with food under it, and you have to pull the ball out to get the food. Okay, she's doing a great job on that one. Ready, Missy? And of course, this is all supervised, right? So you don't want them chewing things up and tearing things up. Missy, what's that? Okay, that one. There we go, good girl. And they're going to get more efficient at these games as well. Same thing when I did the catch game with the food. The next one that I want to do, and this one you can make it more difficult as you go along, I'm going to take a towel, and I'm going to put a bunch of kibble in the middle. And just whoop, and just, Missy, sit. Sit, stay. Look, up here, look. Missy, look, stay. Okay, I'm just going to kind of mess it up a little bit. I'm going to make it easy to start. Go get it. She's got to find her way through the towel and figure out how to get the food in. Where is it? Find it. Find it. Where is it? So I'm going to make it easy to start out with, where she knows she can get her nose under there. Then it's going to start getting more difficult the more I put food in and the more I fold things over. Ready? Look at this. So I'm going to fold it up and put it all kinds of places. There you go. Okay, so I'll let her work at this a little bit, where she's got to get through the towel. If they start ripping up the towel or, tearing at stuff, that's when I'm going to take it away. And if they get too excited, again, I'm in control of this game. So I'm going to tell her when to find it. Good girl. Ready? Find it? Good girl. You ready? Did you get it all? Oh, you didn't get it all yet. So I'm going to make her work at this. I'm going to just kind of fold it over in places, put it here. And again, these are all games that I haven't played with these guys much. So they're just learning how to figure it out. But the more functional they get at pulling out the food, then the more difficult I make it. I might roll it up. I might do a few different things with it. Okay, so that's that part. Let's see, what else did I want to show you guys today? Oh yes, and frozen food. Here's the thing. Especially come summer, one of the things that I like to do is, and I'm going to bring these guys out. Ready, Missy? Oh, you missed one. Come on over here. I'm going to get Cooper over here. And I'm going to bring Ollie over here. I'm going to give these guys something to do. Just a minute. Hold on, guys. Oh, sorry, dude. I need to have you all stuck up here. Okay, so freezing stuff, toys, all kinds of things. This is one of the things that I like to do. Come here, Coop. Come on, Ollie. I'm going to move this over. Ollie, place. Up here, place. Ollie, place. Good boy. Sit. Missy, right here. Cooper, place. Right there. Okay, so one of the things that I do is I mix things up. I'm going to freeze things, especially for summer. I'll take ice cube trays. These just happen to be Santa's from Christmas. I'll use chicken broth. I'll use water. I'll use a combination of it. Cooper, back up. And I'll freeze some kibble in there. So I don't know if you can see that, but it's basically like an ice cube. And this is good in the summertime in the backyard. I wouldn't do this in your house necessarily because it's going to get messy. But I do different things like this just to keep them busy, especially when it's warm or too hot to run and play. Ready, Cooper, come? I'm going to get two of these out, and I'm going to show you how this works. So we're going to give Missy one over here. Missy, sit. Down. Down. She's got to work for it. Down. All the way. Good girl. That's for you. Okay, you're good. Now, and I can do different things. Just going to see if this is still too frozen. This is a little too frozen, so I'm going to give him one of these. But I'll take a bully stick, and I'll take soft food from a can, and I'll make a popsicle out of it. Okay, so that this will come off when I run it under warm water, and I will give it to these guys, and right now it's still too stuck. Oh, there we go. Okay, so there's a popsicle. So I'm going to give Cooper a popsicle. Ollie, come here. Okay, then the other thing that you can do is I'll take a toy, and this is all freezer stuff. And depending on the size of the dog and what you want to do, you can mix and match whatever you want with this. But this is just in lieu of just stuffing a Kong all the time. And what I've done with this, is this all frozen? Okay. So what I've done with this is I've taken a toy and I've wrapped it in soft canned food, and I've frozen it. So the toy's in there, and I'm going to give that to Ollie. Oh yeah, that's good stuff. And they're going to all go off and do their thing, which is fine. So you can mix and match whatever you want with this stuff. The other thing that I've done is I'll take containers, especially in the summertime. I'll take containers, and this one, again, I'll use chicken broth and a little bit of water or whatever you want to put in there. And I've frozen, I'll show you how this works. If you can see in there, there's some cookies in there, there's some kibble in there, and on the bottom, there is some greenies mixed in. So when I put this out on the back porch and I just kind of run that out to get it out of the container, I'll give it to them as well, and that keeps them busy, and it gives them something to do, and they have to work for the food. Another thing that I will do, and you can mix and match this with anything. I'll take a container, depending on the size of the dog. I'll take a container, and like for the bigger dogs, I'll do some big stuff. So one of the things that I did for one of the bigger dogs was like this. Okay, so again, I'll take a container, a couple of toys. There's a nylon bone in there, and I'll just put stuff in this, take it out in the backyard, and this is for a bigger dog. So I'll let them work at that, and it gives them something to do. And again, you can make these as often as you want. You can do it with their food. It's good for in the summertime when it's hot. I wouldn't just give them straight ice, but mix it up with, with chicken broth or whatever else you want to put in there, and you're good to go. And then the last thing that I tend to use a lot, and I do it again and again and again, is I will take marrow bones, raw marrow bones that I have given the dogs, and instead of throwing them out, what I'll do is I'll reuse them, and this is parchment paper. I'll stuff it like you would a Kong with food and freeze it. So I'm going to give that one to Cooper. Oh yes, whoops, you go ahead and get that one. Missy, you want one too? Okay, we're going to give one to Missy. And so you don't have to run out to get stuff all the time. Hey, easy, back up, Missy. Now, resource guarding, very interesting topic. Thank you for reminding me, Cooper. Okay, when I have a dog that resource guards or that doesn't want somebody near their food, I'm going to play a game with them. Cooper, leave it. Ready? Look, sit. Here, come over here. Over here. Missy, over here. Place. Okay, you work on that one. Good girl. Cooper, right here. Sit. Good. Okay, you work on that one. Good. Down, right there. Good. Missy down. So I want to be able to trade them for something else. When I do this, when I have a dog that's more possessive about their food and stuff, I want you to be careful doing this. This is one of the exercises I do with my clients who have dogs that do resource guard. What I want to do is you want to be safe about this, and also so you should know the value of the food that they have. You know, the higher the value, the harder it's going to be to get them to give it up. So I've got to trade them for equal or better valued food, and I have to do it where I'm confident and do it safely. So this isn't something I want you to just try if you have a dog that will take your hands off, okay? But Cooper, look, I'm gonna bend down, keep my shoulders up, back up. Cooper, look, you want one of these? Look, thank you. I take it away, I wait, ready? Good, now I'm gonna trade him. Okay, I'm gonna do it again. Cooper, leave it. Cooper, leave it. Look. Leave it. Yes, wait, ready? Okay, there you go. Okay, so I'm going to do that with all these guys because, Missy, sit. And look, sit. Good girl, wait. So I'm going to take it away first. Look, Missy. And then I'm either going to give it back or I'm going to trade her for something else. Okay, so be careful when you play this exercise because if you want to trade up to something better, they should give up what they have. So if they take socks or they take things they're not supposed to and run off with it, don't chase them. Just get something better. Tell them, come on, over here, you want one of these? And I'm going to say, you leave it. They drop it, and I take it away. So this is my 1, 2, 3 rule. Drop it is 1, 2 is I take it, 3 is yes. I give them the reward of the other thing. So you can do this with their food and handfuls even, just to get, especially with puppies and younger dogs, to get them started to learn how to not resource guard things. So that gives you some stuff to do. And the other thing I should tell you is that I have a little secret code for you guys who are here in town in Ottawa. The company Critter Jungle that sponsors my pack box, which is what we would normally be doing today, decided that since I told them we were going to do games and things to keep everybody busy, there's a little bonus for you guys. That if you go into Critter Jungle, they have these Zeus Bones. These are edible, so it's kind of like a greenie type thing, a little harder. If you go to the cache and you say Zeus at the cache, they will give you 20% off one of these. So this is something it's a little bit easier to give them in the house. It's not quite as messy as the other stuff is. And it's all edible and they have different flavors. This one happens to be bacon. But wander in there and just tell them at the cache, tell them you watched the video and the secret code is Zeus and they should get 20% off this. So I'm going to answer a few questions and see what's going on. So I'm going to turn the camera around. I'm going to just, oops. And if anybody has any questions, we're going to answer all of those. Here we go. Okay, so let me see what the comments are here and just kind of get an idea of what everyone's asking. How far from the bottom and how big should the holes be in the bottles? Okay, so Barb, it all depends on what size kibble you're using. And hang on, I'm sorry, I'm trying to just get my camera set up in the right place. There we go. It all depends on what size kibble you're using. I use dehydrated raw, so it's a little bit bigger, so I make the holes big enough that it's easier, especially at the beginning, make it easy for them to get it to fall out. That's the first thing. The second thing is, as they get better at it, then you can make it a little more difficult. You can start with lots of holes. I put them on, when it's on the spinner, I make sure it's so that it can fall out from the front and the back. And what else can I tell you with that? Let me think. Oh yes, so yeah, I'll use kibble, I'll use dehydrated raw, I'll use treats. Make sure it's not anything too rich, like you're not giving them cookies all the time or something, and you're also making sure that you're compensating with their diet, so that if you're giving them a lot of this kind of stuff, reduce the diet, the food that they get in their bowl then. And anything else that anyone can think of or any other questions anyone has, and you can do this with just about anything. You can be as creative as you want with stuff. The garden hose is something I've used for many years. And, you know, in the water it's great. You can put rope in it. You can, you know, stuff it with torn up t-shirts. You can tie up the ends. Whatever your dog likes, you can do that. You can also put things like, if they're getting them used to it and they're not sure what to do with it, sometimes I'll just put a little bit of peanut butter on the outside or at the ends just to entice them a little bit more. And again, with any of the toys, you can put them all into a container and put some broth in, and you don't have to cover it. It doesn't have to be this huge block of ice. You can just, enough that it keeps things together. And yeah, you're good to go. So we all have time right now, because this is the perfect time to be able to work with your dog, bond with your dog, play with your dog, and these things will keep their minds busy, not just the fact that you know, they're physically probably not getting as much runtime as they do unless you have, you know, open space for them, and they're not getting the social that they normally get, which is a big part that I wanted to mention as well. The thing that I'm starting to see, especially with puppy clients, is that they're lacking on the social part right now and getting the dog out. I'm telling everybody that, you know, just because you're sort of hunkered down right now, it doesn't mean that you can't get in the car and go for a car ride with the dog, crack the window a little bit, and just go for a little drive and then bring them home so that they get out. Because right now I'm finding that most comments I'm getting are that the dogs are getting kind of bored, and everybody's getting kind of bored that they're stuck at home, and the dogs are looking at us like, why are you still here 24/7? So, you know, they're getting very complacent with us being here all the time. So I would say, you know, even go outside for a little walk. Don't take the dog with you every time, or when you're doing things in the house, let them go work on one of these things in a different room while you're like making dinner or you're doing the laundry or whatever. Don't make it so that they have to, you know, they're always there following you around. Unless, of course, you've got a puppy situation, and then you're going to control when they're in and when they're out, and that you want to watch what's going on. So if anybody else has any other thoughts, any ideas, any questions for me, by all means, go ahead and post. And if not, you can always post stuff later, and I will get back to you. But this has been fun. We're going to do more of these, and just to give you guys stuff to do, but right now is the perfect time. to be working with your dogs and making things happen. So I think we're good for time. I'm going to let you guys go so you can go and think about some of these games and make some things up and be creative. Have some fun. All right? So we'll see you next time, guys. Take care and be safe.